Hello, I'm Johnny Hargrove. I'm chair of the church leadership team. For several months, we have been talking about the current situation in the United Methodist Church. We have been the beneficiary of videos, of booklets, of discussion time, of question and answer sessions. Now we have moved to the next step. Last night, the church leadership team voted whether or not for Huntsville United Methodist Church to move into a formal discernment period. What is a formal discernment period? The North Alabama Conference and our Northeast District have established a very specific process. It exists in 4 phases. The first phase is when a decision is made, you notify your district superintendent. Then you move through the following phases that take months to move through, one phase at a time after the covenant relationship is made with the district, through the district superintendent, with the North Alabama Conference. Last night, the CLT met in hybrid format. Some of us were in room 129 and some of us were on Zoom. We voted by written ballot. The eligible voters marked their vote yes, no, or abstain. There are 39 eligible voters on the CLT. 6 of those voters were not present and did not present a proxy vote, so there were 33 votes taken. I need to explain to you about abstaining. Pastor Byron has recommended to all the clergy that they abstain from the vote so that the vote would be laity-led, congregation-led, rather than clergy-led, so that the decision would be made by the laity. The votes were tallied after all had submitted their votes. They were opened one at a time and the tally was made. Should Huntsville First United Methodist Church enter a formal discernment period? For yes, there were 15 votes. For no, there were 12 votes. For abstentions, there were 6 votes. I do need to be sure you understand about the abstentions, that again, the clergy were recommended not to vote yes or no, but to abstain. What does this mean as we move forward? It reflects the diversity of a church. It means that we are going to be contacting our district superintendent to move into the formal discernment period, into a covenant relationship. We will be setting up a discernment team that will help lead the church through the next several months of discernment. What's really important about discernment? I'd like for you to see the document if you've not seen it yet. It is available on our website. You can go to the tab at the top and choose Engage, and then the first thing under Engage is Discernment. And under Discernment, under Documents, you will find this document from our bishop. And this is what our bishop, Deborah Wallace Paget, has to say about discernment. Spiritual discernment is different than decision-making of practical matters and logistics. In contrast, it is a process of sitting in the presence of God as we listen for God's still, quiet voice to lead us. It is about God's desires, not ours. It involves more listening than talking. It requires willingness to be surprised by the outcome. It compels us to think about both unintended and intended consequences. It demands that we focus not on a decision, but on God's Holy Spirit speaking to our hearts. And that's what we ask as we move forward with this formal discernment process, that we listen, that we open ourselves, we wait for the guidance of the Holy Spirit as we move through this formal discernment process.